It's been a journey of more than 8,000 miles from my hometown of Los Angeles, but at last I've arrived in the Southeast Asian nation of Cambodia. This is a country of extremes, from the barely controlled chaos of its bustling capital city, Phnom Penh, to rural villages whose inhabitants live in conditions all but unchanged in hundreds of years. From the incomparable temples of the once mighty Khmer Empire to the grim reminders of war and genocide that in the 1970s killed millions of Cambodia's citizens. Before setting out in my Subaru WRX STI to explore the sights and secrets of this ancient and often challenging landscape, I decided to stack the cards in my favor by having my car and myself blessed by a group of local Buddhist monks. It's an impressive production that somehow I just can't picture Kwai Chang Caine interrupting his mantras to take a cell phone call. Rules of the road? Not so much. Driving in Cambodia is like trying to pedal a unicycle through Walmart on Black Friday. Pick a lane, any lane. Hey, drive against oncoming traffic if you want. My survival instinct is cranked up to 11, and not just for me, but also for my STI. See, I've got extra incentive for keeping my Subi happy and healthy. Somewhere out there, I'm told, lies one of the greatest unknown driving roads in the world. There are Subarus, and then there are Subarus. This one is built by Subaru Technica International, STI. It's Subaru's version of Mercedes-Benz's AMG or BMW's M. And so what it is, essentially, is a race-ready rally car you can drive on the street. 305 horsepower, symmetrical all-wheel drive, torque vectoring, this close ratio 6-speed transmission. You can even adjust the center differential for different driving situations. It's just got that really rough and rugged character. We've got the all-wheel drive system for some of the gnarly roads we're encountering here on this drive. The power really helps when you're trying to squirt through gaps in traffic. Tremendous acceleration. Really good seats. It's comfortable, great visibility. I've got tons of room for all of our gear, both in the trunk, which is huge, and then there's the back seat if you need that too. So in short, this WRX STI has everything you need, and this is really the ideal rig for touring through a country like Cambodia. Soon enough, I come to the shores of the mighty Mekong River and a bridge constructed entirely of bamboo. I'm sure it can handle the weight of my Subaru. After all, a couple scooters and a fisherman just went across. No problem. Unfortunately, I can't cross the entirety of the Mekong on bamboo, so well, it's 3:35 in the afternoon, and the temperature is cooled to a balmy 96 degrees. But I've just put my STI on a ferry to cross the Mekong River. Always wanted to say that, Mekong River. When we get to the other side, I've got about a 3.5-hour drive to Siem Reap, which is considered one of the liveliest cities in Cambodia. It's also home to some of the greatest temples ever created by mankind. But we're going to have to hurry, because I've heard that after dark, the driving goes from totally mad to completely insane. One reason why it's so scary to drive through Cambodia at night? A lot of the big rig trucks coming at you out of the gloom don't have any lights because they're too expensive to replace. It's been on my bucket list for decades. Sunrise at the Temple of Angkor Wat, considered the 8th wonder of the world, the masterwork of an empire that spanned more than 600 years until the early 15th century. To find out more about this epic setting, I meet up with local guide Tech, who leads me almost 1,000 years back in time.
Because the size of this temple here is 1.5 or 1.3 kilometers.
Wow, really?
Yeah, when we get out, you can see the moat all around the temple, and that moat is 1.5 by 1.3 K. And this staircase here for the king to use, climbing up to the top and pray from the main west entrance here, straight up to the top.
The king had it good, didn't he?
Yeah, so the king very powerful and rich and uncle. And you may imagine how much money that the king spent for a great building here.
For himself.
Almost 30 years for the profound Hindu belief.
Did he stay alive to see it finished?
This temple, Angkor Wat, was not completely finished, but almost finished. And he passed away in the 1150.
So you're going to show me another temple or two, right?
Yeah, of course.
What's next?
The next is the Ta Prohm temple that's still overgrown by the trees.
That's the one from Tomb Raider.
Yes, of course, and we will show you the Tomb Raider shot at the temple there.
Is Angelina Jolie going to be there?
Yeah, in 2001, but not now.
A short drive from Angkor Wat, the crumbling ruins of Ta Prohm have been swallowed up by the jungle, which makes the place even more atmospheric and mysterious. And yeah, the perfect backdrop for a Hollywood movie. So Tech, this is Ta Prohm, yeah?
Yes, of course it is. Ta Prohm temple, it was a Buddhist one at the end of the 12th century.
Now tell me about these amazing trees that grow right into the temple.
Yeah, that's after 16th century, all of 3 edges here. Not because when the king abandoned the city, nobody maintained this temple here. So it stopped to use completely after 16th century. So that all trees start to grow.
And they just basically took over the whole place.
Yeah. So this is a very popular shot of Tomb Raider. And almost every tourist.
That's a selfie?
Yeah, selfie or everything.
You know, as majestic as Angkor Wat is, in some ways, Ta Prohm is even more magical. It's more intimate. You're up close to this incredible sculptured stone. These trees are carving themselves through the rock and taking over the place. I'm really glad I came here, but what boggles the mind is that there's dozens more temples like this. You could spend weeks and weeks exploring them all. The story goes that former U.S. Ambassador to Cambodia, Joseph Musameli, would tell American visitors, be careful, because Cambodia is the most dangerous place you will ever visit. You will fall in love with it, and eventually, it will break your heart. Well, now it's time for me to realize what the ambassador meant by confronting firsthand the horrors of Cambodia's not very distant past. The people of Cambodia have suffered for generations under war and occupation, but the darkest hours definitely started in the mid-1970s. That's when a dictator named Pol Pot took over the capital city of Phnom Penh, and with his army of communist thugs called the Khmer Rouge, they began pushing all the inhabitants out of the city. Literally, hospital patients were forced to walk into the countryside carrying their IV bags. After that, Pol Pot began exterminating any educated people in Cambodia. They killed 80% of the educators, 95% of the doctors, 2 million people in total, some say 3, a quarter of the country's population. This is called the Killing Cave. If you were on the hit list of the Khmer Rouge, and that list was very long indeed, you'd be taken to the top there, stabbed in the head, and pushed over the edge. Pol Pot called this madness, turning Cambodia back to year 0. As dusk falls, not far from the Killing Cave, more than 1 million wrinkle-lipped bats leave their own cave in search of food. They'll fly up to 30 miles in their quest for insects, and unlike me, they'll soon come back to this depressing place. The break of a new day resets the mood, and soon I'm on my way to meet up with an English-speaking Cambodian named Peterson, who's going to show me around another of his country's marvels on a lake called Tonle Sap. So Peterson, now we're entering into the fishing village of Tonle Sap Lake, which is the biggest lake in Cambodia, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And how many people live here?
Approximately about 1,200 family.
And huge, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and 50% of them are Vietnamese and 50% are Cambodian, but they live peacefully together. Yeah. So they basically have school. Yeah. They have church as well, Vietnamese church. They have a pagoda up here as well, floating pagoda, and a post office.
So they have everything.
They have pretty much just exactly like the normal village. Yeah.
Except you go shopping by boats.
You gotta paddle to go shopping.
Okay.
But people here have no choice, you know. They couldn't afford the piece of land, and you know, everything here is pretty ugly. Yeah.
So Peterson, right now the water level is really low, isn't it? I mean, normally these houses would be floating.
Yeah. Well, this is the driest month of the year, and people now they're just praying for rain.
The floating village is just another example of the hard, scrabbled existence so many Cambodians somehow take in stride. But even amid the toil, life has its moments. So driving around Cambodia is great. I mean, I'm loving what I'm seeing, and it's different on every turn, but there's no place to use a performance car like this. There's too many cars, people, cows, tuk-tuks all over the road. I mean, it's insane trying to drive fast here. But while cruising around, I found this little used military airfield with a lone guard sitting in front. I paid him 15 bucks. He dropped the gate, said, go have at it. So now I've got this private airstrip all to myself, and I'm gonna have a little fun. So far, I've happily managed to avoid some of the roadside fear factor foods that Cambodians actually seem to enjoy. Skinned frog, boiled duck fetus, live tarantulas deep fried right before your eyes. But after I arrive at an outdoor market in the southern town of Kampot, my new friend Peterson has something up his sleeve.
There's one special thing I want to show you.
Special?
Yeah, it's, we loved it. Yeah, I don't know
Really,
about
we love
you,
it.
but we totally love it. And this fruit is really expensive.
So we're gonna have an expensive fruit.
Oh yeah. It's called durian.
Like, the bananas look good. Should we have a banana?
Yeah, no, this is
That?
This is better. Yeah.
That doesn't look like a fruit, it looks like an animal.
Kampot is famous for durian. The soil is really good for it, and to grow durian, and it's really sweet. I mean, I like it because I'm Cambodian, basically.
So you're immune, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
What part do you eat? This yellow stuff?
Yeah, this yellow thing. Yeah. Okay. I got one bigger.
You eat that?
Yeah. No, maybe bigger than that.
No, I'm gonna start with this.
Okay. We love it. Don't give me that face.
No, I don't know, man.
There's more here.
That tastes like a baboon's armpit. That's, I don't know how you like that.
We love that. It's expensive as well.
Can you show me, is there like an In-N-Out burger around here somewhere?
Yeah, there's plenty of people and places selling this kind of fruit. Yeah, it's
That's
pretty famous.
That's not what I need. What I need, and what I've just found, is the road. This is Bokor Mountain Road, near the town of Camp Wat in southern Cambodia. And it is arguably the best unknown driving road in the entire world. Here's why. First, it's awesome. 10 miles of pristine asphalt wriggling through the Cambodian jungle. It goes to a mountaintop casino. It was built about 5 years ago. Number two, it's empty. Nobody comes here. You say, wait, there's a big casino on top. Well, here's the thing. Cambodians are not allowed to gamble. So why would anybody build a casino at the top of this mountain? Well, I could tell you, but I'd like to make it out of Cambodia without my kneecaps broken. But if they're not going to use this road, I am. And to make sure that nobody is hiding around any corners, I've hired a couple rangers to close off either end so I can let this WRX STI run wild. We're going to tear up this mountain road right now. Big hairpin coming up here. Oh, those Brembo brakes are fantastic. I can tell these DMAC competition tires, they make such a difference. Oh, this road is unbelievable. Another hairpin, back to second gear, more tire hollow, and then the flat four punches me out. You think a road like this must exist only in dreams. All to yourself, lined by Cambodian jungle, perfect pavement, and wriggles everywhere. I've got both lanes to myself, so I can follow the racing line more or less. This is what the STI was made for, attacking roads like this in anger. Listen to that 305 horse flat four sing. It just sounds so gutty, and it pulls so hard. Love the 6-speed box too. It's close ratio, great action. The pedals are right where you want them for heel and toe downshifting. Running through the jungle, out of the corner of my eyes, I can also see this unbelievable scenery. This is just a private driving paradise. Doesn't get better. Bokor Mountain Road. Sunset on the Gulf of Thailand in the beachside village of Kep, an idyllic spot to finish my journey. So, did I fall in love with Cambodia as the ambassador predicted? Oh yeah. And though I saw painful things, my heart is still intact, and I know why. From the humble settlements to the majestic temples to the floating village, everywhere I went, the Cambodian people exuded a strength of spirit that somehow changes you. So, yes, Cambodia may be one of the poorest nations on earth, but to my mind, it's also one of the richest.